All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of World Football Alliance Crunch Time here on the World Sports and Entertainment Network. I'm your host, DB Love. Thank you for tuning in. This week on Crunch Time, we're in week 13 of the World Football Alliance. We're going to start things off in week 13 in the Alliance Division, where we had byes from Houston. Orlando Wizards had a bye. San Diego, Sacramento, Salt Lake City, and Mexico City Golden Eagles all had byes in week 13. The week 12 players of the week from last week were Anthony Stork was the offensive player of the week in the Alliance Division. He's the quarterback for the Salt Lake City Elks. He went 26 of 44 with 372 yards and 5 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, defensive player of the week was his teammate, Daniel Kittner, middle linebacker for Salt Lake City Elks. 16 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 forced fumbles. So a good week for the Salt Lake City Elks, bringing home offensive and defensive players of the week in week 12. Let's get to some scores for this week in week 13 in the Alliance Division, where we start things off with a big upset. We had Oklahoma City upset Portland 17-14. Oklahoma City improves to 4-6 with that win. Portland falls to 6-4. Up next, we had Toronto taking on Brooklyn. Brooklyn won that one 30-24. Brooklyn improves to 8-1. Toronto falls to 5-4. Up next, we had London Black Knights taking on Chicago. London won that one 38-20. They improved to 4-7. Chicago falls to 1-9. And we also had Austin taking on Columbus Aviators. Columbus won that one 23-12. Aviators improved to 8-1. Austin fall to 2-7. And let's kick you to some highlights. Our highlighted game of the week in the Alliance Division: San Antonio taking on Memphis. Check it out.
And first, we start things off here. San Antonio versus Memphis Hounds. Outstanding catch there by the receiver, diving, laying out grab by Schmidt for 25 yards to get the Marshals down to the 5-yard line. Chris Harding takes a snap, rolls out right, gets taken down by Huff for a sack. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. We are tied at 3 here in the second quarter after both teams have added field goals. Harding, left side, complete for the touchdown. First career touchdown reception for the backup running back. Curtis Dudley makes the catch out of the backfield there to give the Marshals a 10-3 lead. And there you have it. Memphis Hounds strike 67-yard touchdown run by the running back. Takes the handoff and is gone. Breaks an ankle right there. Takes it 67 yards to the house to tie the game at 10. 3:08 remain in the first half. And the Memphis Hounds strike again. Very next possession after forcing a 3-and-out of San Antonio. Jackson Hardings hits the receiver there, breaking tackles, breaking ankles, taking it to the house for a 17-10 lead just before halftime. Outstanding catch and run. And we go to halftime here in Memphis, Tennessee. Hounds leading the visiting San Antonio Marshals 16-10. Hounds leading all offensive categories San Antonio started things out there. Harding hit Dudley out of the backfield. Memphis would answer back with a 67-yard touchdown run from Green to tie it up. And then Jackson Hardings would hit Landrum there with a phenomenal catch and run to take the lead just before halftime. And San Antonio answered back. Deep touchdown pass to Villarreal. That catch puts him over 1,000 yards receiving on the year. I believe that was his 11th touchdown of the year. And the extra point gives the Marshals a 1-point lead, 17-16 in the third quarter. And Memphis Hounds find the end zone again. This time it's back up running back Maggette. Hard running, outstanding run over the right side, breaking tackles, getting into the end zone. That makes it 22-17 Memphis Hounds. Memphis will now go for 2 points. Harding takes a snap, rolling right, scrambles in for the 2-point conversion to give the Hounds a 24-17 lead. Outstanding play here. Memphis Hounds block the San Antonio punt. There's a scrum for the football. Number 95 comes out of the scrum. There you see the block, number 22. Memphis Hounds collect the block punt, run it back for a touchdown to extend their lead 31-17. And here we go. San Antonio Marshals have driven the ball back down the field inside the 5, looking to get a touchdown. That handoff goes to Curtis Dudley. He has 18 carries for 63 yards today. Other than his touchdown reception out of the backfield, he's been somewhat bottled up now. 3rd and goal here. Boatwright takes the pitch, runs left, gets in for the touchdown on his first carry of the day. Touchdown, San Antonio Marshals, to cut into the Memphis Hounds lead here in the fourth quarter. The pitch, the run, that will make the score 31-24. 12-10 remain in the fourth. And Memphis Hounds leading by a touchdown. San Antonio get the football inside of 2 minutes, looking to drive the field, but give up a safety there. Cameron Cordell sacks Chris Harding in the end zone for safety. 2 points for the Memphis Hounds. They will get the football back. Second sack today for Cordell, and that will put the game out of reach. And that does it for us here in Memphis, Tennessee. Hometown Hounds get the win over the visiting Marshals.
All right, there you have it. Good game there. Let's talk about the current standings in the Alliance Division. We have a tie in first at 8-1. The Brooklyn Barons and the Columbus Aviators both sit tied for first in the Alliance Division at 8-1. Behind them, Memphis Hounds are at 7-3. San Diego Aftershock are at 5-3, and Portland Snowhawks, after losing in that upset, fall to 6-4. So that's the playoff picture in the Alliance Division. Let's head over to the United Division. Buys in the United Division in Week 13. Columbus Caps had a bye. San Antonio, Houston, Memphis Steamers had a bye. Austin and the Brooklyn Beats had a bye. Now for the Week 12 Players of the Week in the United Division, Offensive Player of the Week was Blake Decker, quarterback for Toronto Huskies. Blake went 23 of 34, 324 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Defensive Player of the Week, Week 12 United Division, Bryant Ryans, left end for the Oklahoma City Bisons. Bryant had 9 tackles and 4 sacks and a forced fumble. Congratulations to those guys. Moving right along, scores from this week in the United Division. We had Chicago taking on Dublin Celtic Tigers. Chicago won that one 16-12. Close affair there. Chicago improves to 4-5. Dublin falls to 5-4. We also had an international game. London Monarchs took on the Mexico City Conquistadors. Monarchs won that easily, 35-17. They improved to 5-3. Conquistadors fall to 2-7. We had Portland taking on San Diego Crusaders. Crusaders won that one 15-10. Crusaders improved to 4-5. Portland falls to 5-3. And then we had Sacramento taking on Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City won a close one there, 30-27. Salt Lake City improved to 6-4. Sacramento fall to 4-6. Let's get you to the highlighted game this week in the United Division. Oklahoma City Bisons taking on Toronto Huskies. The teams with both the offensive and defensive player from last week meeting this week in Week 13. Check it out.
And we start things off in Toronto. Huskies get the touchdown. Receiver out of the backfield makes the reception for an early 7-0 lead. Oklahoma City fumble the football and turn it over. First play of the second quarter, they're down inside their red zone. Dalton Booth scrambles, gets drilled, fumbles the football. Look at that, upended, recovered by Trevathan of Toronto. Dalton Booth again fumbles the football. This time, again recovered by Toronto and returned for a touchdown to make it a 14-0 ball game in favor of the Huskies. And that gets us to halftime. Huskies lead in passing yards. Oklahoma City doing it with rushing yards. A lot of rushing yards by quarterback Dalton Booth, but he also has 2 fumbles that were both recovered by the Huskies. There you see the Huskies' first touchdown. Let's shoot right to the third quarter. And very first play of the fourth quarter, Huskies get another touchdown. Blake Decker fires a strike right there to the receiver for the touchdown. And here's the 4th fumble of the game by Oklahoma City, 3rd for Dalton Booth. Prior to this, there was another fumble by a receiver that was recovered by Toronto. This finally, a fumble bounces right for Oklahoma City, and they recover the fumble. But 3rd for Dalton, they are scooped up by the running back to keep possession. It'll be 1st and goal for the Bisons from the 6th. 3:08 left to play. Bisons trying to get into the end zone as they trail 27-6 here with about 2:35 left to play, trying to fight back into this one. They're going to need a lot as Dalton Booth hits Brazil there for the touchdown to make it 27-12. And with 20 seconds to remain, Oklahoma City add another touchdown. Dalton Booth hits Anderson back of the end zone. It's going to be too little too late, I do believe, for the Bisons. This will make it 27-20 with 20 seconds remaining. And there you have it. We reach a final here in Toronto, Canada. Hometown Huskies win it 27-20 over Oklahoma City Bisons. There's a late touchdown the Bisons added. Hard-fought game by these two teams.
And there you have it. Standings through 13 weeks in the United Division. Austin Armadillos sit on top of the league at 7-1, followed by the San Antonio Dreadnoughts at 6-3, London Monarchs 5-3, Portland Lumberjacks 5-3, and Salt Lake City Pioneers at 6-4. So there you have it. You're up to date through 13 weeks in the World Football Alliance. Tune in next week. We roll through week 14 as we get through the WFA season here. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more World Football Alliance action. Also, the United States Basketball Championship. Be sure to check that basketball league out here on the network. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.